Now see, men love women. But even more than that, men love cars.
As with the past few OnePlus smartphones, the 60 has also just been announced in a special edition variant which collaborates with another brand. But this time around it probably makes sense to do so, and in this video we'll discuss why I think so. This is Sandeep from RevAtlas, and here's the unboxing and review of the OnePlus 60 McLaren edition. I'll start with the unboxing itself. While the 5T Star Wars edition and 6 Avengers edition came with unique boxes, they weren't as special as this. The 60 McLaren edition features a papaya orange outer sleeve with Salute to Speed slogan, as well as the OnePlus and McLaren branding. The limited edition is called Speed Orange, and the outer sleeve slides off to reveal a box with carbon fiber look. There's some texture here as well as subtle branding for both the companies. Inside the box you'll first see a booklet which is of extremely high quality and tells the story of McLaren as well as the history of how the two brands collaborated together to develop the Speed Orange edition. The last page has the OnePlus 60 itself housed within the book, but the specialty of the book doesn't end here, and we'll come back to that later. Also in the box is a carbon fiber case for the 60 with McLaren branding, as well as a new 30-watt warp charger, braided USB Type-A to Type-C cable, and a USB Type-C to 3.5mm audio jack converter, all in matching papaya orange and black color combo. There's also a piece of actual carbon fiber housed in a glass casing that's actually the same material they used on the MCL33 car. Every Speed Orange edition gets one of these, and you also get some documentation and the SIM ejector pin. Now onto the phone itself. In terms of design, it's pretty much a 60 through and through. They've used the midnight black variant of the 60 as a base, but added a special papaya orange accent at the lower sides and bottom to indicate the feeling you get when a car zips past you at high speeds. There's a carbon fiber weave under the glass which is more subtle than the Avengers edition as well. In fact, I think there was no real correlation for carbon fiber on the Avengers edition, and I would have rather liked to see a gold edition or perhaps even a thunder purple Avengers edition, considering what Thanos looks like. Having a carbon fiber for the sake of having it isn't nice, but in this particular variant it makes a lot of sense since it's used in a lot of high performance cars and race cars. I personally love the look of the Speed Orange edition, and this along with the thunder purple variant are my favorite colors of the 60. I would have loved to have the power button or the alert slider in papaya orange too. By the way, papaya orange is a lucky color for McLaren ever since the initial days that the brand started motorsport racing. Coming to the internals, there's 10GB of RAM, and while many will say that it's overkill, and rightly so, it still makes sense to get more when you're paying more. I'm sure 8GB of RAM on this edition would have made it less worth the extra asking price, and hence even though it's probably overkill right now, it's still a welcome addition. Earlier special editions had the same amount of RAM as the top end variants. Some may argue that OnePlus is actually using limited editions to bump up the price with each new generation, but actually they're doing that anyway regardless of limited editions, especially when you consider the price difference between the OnePlus 1 and the OnePlus 5 for example, none of which had special editions. In fact, OnePlus has also started considering themselves as a flagship brand and not a flagship killer. They no longer use the slogan flagship killer and only stick to the never settle slogan, and they consider themselves a premium brand just like Samsung or Apple for that matter. So there may be time in the near future where OnePlus devices might be priced very similar to Samsung devices, considering that the price is going up steadily. In terms of software, the OnePlus 60 comes with special wallpapers that are designed after the slow moving scenes that are shown to F1 drivers during pit stops to ease their mind. You also have some special features with the book that can be accessed via augmented reality, and a really nice touch and a nice Easter egg. Lastly, the 30-watt warp charger allows for faster speeds. Dash Charge was marketed as being able to give a day's power in half an hour. That has now been reduced to 20 minutes. While it still isn't as fast as the Super VWC on the Oppo R17 Pro, which is a 50-watt charging standard, this is still right up there and should be fast enough for most, especially since the battery life is already good on the 60. Of course, you need to use the bundle charger and cable to get those speeds. We could also expect the same 30-watt warp charge to come as default on the OnePlus 7, but until then this is the only way to get it. Warp Charge 30 also probably indicates that at one stage a 50-watt charging could come to OnePlus devices as well and get termed as Warp Charge 50. OnePlus hasn't clarified whether Warp Charge would be compatible with previous devices such as the 60, 6, etc. But since the battery setup is unchanged and not a dual one like on the R17 Pro, we're guessing it should. We'll update you guys after we do our testing on the same, but then again, even if it works, you would probably need to buy the charger and cable, which would cost a few thousand rupees. And in case you haven't already bought the 60 but are planning to do so, it's probably best to get the McLaren edition directly if you want the faster charging. OnePlus devices have been known to be fast and is almost always the winner of not just ours, but across other reviews and reviewers and their speed tests. Hence, I feel it actually makes sense to release this edition, which emphasizes two brands who are always in pursuit of speed. Also, the carbon fiber on this makes complete sense as it is a premium material used in race cars, and the entire experience of unboxing and the contents definitely make this worthy of the premium price asked for it. Thanks for watching this video. See you again in the next one.